8, car, 6, 5, quarters, 3, 2. As a weather forecaster who's had no raise in decades, I've always believed that my talents haven't had the opportunity to shine. What I can't stand even more is that every year I have to go to some remote town for a Groundhog Day festival. In my eyes, relying on a groundhog to predict the weather is just ridiculous. Only the new producer, Mary, seems to find all of this fascinating. She came to the town, and I refused to stay in the cheap hotel with them. Instead, I paid for a stay in a fancy hotel. Soon enough, the alarm went off at 6 the next morning. The radio was playing coverage of the Groundhog Day festival, and just as I stepped outside, I bumped into a man with no sense of boundaries. After brushing him off, I wandered downstairs, bored, and ran into the overly enthusiastic landlady. I impatiently left the hotel and turned the corner to find an old man begging for money. I coldly avoided him, but then I ran into an old classmate.
I sell insurance.
What a shock.
Do you have life insurance? Because if you do, you could always use a little more. Am I right or am I right or am I right? Right.
My patience had been completely worn out. I just wanted to get away from him, but ended up stepping right into a cold puddle. At the filming location, it was the same place every day, saying the same lines, watching a group of bored people engage in pointless revelry. I just wanted it all to end. After the broadcast, I ignored Mary and left, but unfortunately, on my way back, we ran into a snowstorm. We had no choice but to return to the town and stay for one more night. The next morning at 6, I was once again woken up by that familiar alarm, and the radio was still playing coverage of the Groundhog Day festival. I was very confused. The festival had already happened yesterday, yet the weather outside was still calm, no snow in sight. I stepped outside with a sense of doubt, and unexpectedly I ran into that man again. I quickly rushed downstairs, and the next scenes I saw were exactly the same as what I went through yesterday. This couldn't be a prank the whole town was in on. I quickly ran back to the hotel, and before bed, I broke a pencil and placed it on the nightstand. The next day at 6, when the alarm rang, the pencil was perfectly intact. I was completely freaked out. I ran outside and once again encountered the man, the landlady, the beggar, and my old classmate, along with that dreaded Groundhog Day festival.